A new wave, a new epicenter taxing hospital emergency rooms again. Health officials warning things will get worse amid renewed concerns over children and classroom reopenings. We have full coverage tonight, beginning with Von Hilliard in Florida.
The United States topping 100,000 new coronavirus cases just Friday. A stunning fourth wave, with the number of infections and seriousness of the moment rising each day.
Things are going to get worse. If you look at the acceleration of the number of cases, the 7-day average has gone up substantially.
The virus surging in states from the west to the east, cases doubling in more than 40 of them over the last 2 weeks.
This is a Class 5 hurricane.
More Florida residents tested positive for COVID this weekend than at any other point during the pandemic. Hospitals in Jacksonville and Orlando are already breaking previous hospitalization records. In neighboring Alabama, more than 1,200 people are currently hospitalized, and COVID unit doctors say August will be even worse.
The number of cases by Labor Day will be more than twice the number of cases we saw at the worst time in January. That's what we're about to face, and the public isn't ready for that.
And in Texas, overwhelmed hospitals struggling to hire additional nurses and staff.
They're not finding the uptake, even dramatically increasing the pay they pay.
40% of the country is still not fully vaccinated, and those individuals are making up more than 90% of COVID hospitalizations, forcing hospitals today to build out new COVID units. This one in Baton Rouge.
In the last 24 hours, we opened up our 4th COVID ICU because of the surge of patients requiring critical care. Younger and sicker quicker. They're just getting sick very quickly.
Among the 100 million unvaccinated, some encouraging news, vaccination rates doubled this week. Hotspots.
This may be a tipping point for those who have been hesitant to say, okay, it's time.
All this while Chicago's major music festival Lollapalooza continues on tonight as Americans try to hold on to what the country hoped would be its Renaissance summer. At this hospital, there are 165 COVID patients inside. The Florida Hospital Association tells us they expect to break the statewide record in the coming days. Lester?
Von Hilliard tonight in Florida, thanks. And top of mind for a lot of parents right now is what happens when school starts. It's a major concern as the Delta variant hits a small but increasing number of kids, some too young to be vaccinated. Steve Patterson reports.
On the eve of school bells ushering in a return to the classroom, hospitals warn kids are far from immune to COVID.
Spreading so quickly, the numbers are going up dramatically.
In Louisiana, doctors at Our Lady of the Lake Children's Hospital in Baton Rouge say they've just had their worst weeks since the beginning of the pandemic. At least 62 school-age kids were hospitalized there in July alone, compared to just 18 in June.
About half of those have been in the intensive care unit, requiring breathing tubes or mechanical ventilation.
In Northern California, a Bay Area school district is already reporting 15 cases of COVID among staff and students after just 3 days back to school.
I think they're going to shut down again.
Still, the risk to children remains comparatively low. Since the start of the pandemic, kids have accounted for about 0.02% of all deaths. With the Delta variant spiking right at the start of school, anxiety for parents is at an all-time high as they push through a tangled web of rules, guidelines, and mixed messages. The CDC says it's safe for most children to go back to school, but now recommends everyone K through 12 should wear a mask, giving states the power to issue any mandates.
Floridians have been, are, and will remain free to choose what's best for themselves and their families.
Florida Governor Ron DeSantis signed an executive order Friday banning mask mandates in schools, Illinois too making them optional.
I'm extremely worried and anxious about back to school.
Shannon Linjuko is now worried about sending her 10 and 7-year-old daughters into packed classrooms. Yesterday, they protested the lack of a mandate.
I shouldn't be in this position. We should be taking every single measure that we can take within our schools to give our kids the safest environment possible.
Parents now at the crossroads of an agonizing decision: risk the possibility of COVID at school or miss a crucial period of educational and mental development.
I want people to step up and protect our kids so that my kids and every kid really can go to school and do it safely.
And Lester, both Pfizer and Moderna both say they plan to have an emergency authorization for kids under the age of 12
by the end of the year. Lester?
Steve Patterson in Los Angeles, thank you. And make a plan for where to get vaccinated. Visit planyourvaccine.com for more. Here in Tokyo, been another thrilling day for Team USA with more